listen, I think we've got a high-power panel here, and so we're going to kick it off with some questions that hopefully you'll get some informative and stimulating responses. So what I'd like for each of you to address, and I know each of you come from different areas, but it's pertinent to your domain, give us an overview of your current mobility initiatives. Give me a perspective on what's driving their deployment. Is it efficiencies, cost savings, user and customer services, or brand promotion, or maybe some mix of all of that? Give us the overview. Dan, want to kick it off?
Oh boy, this is going to be a mouthful. Well, let's see. Emory University and Emory Healthcare, those are two very different entities. And the wireless needs for both are quite different, but quite necessary. If the students can't get to Facebook or YouTube or Hulu or Netflix or Blackboard, where they get their class information, they come basically marching towards the network folks with pitchforks and torches. On the healthcare side, it's a little bit more, well, it could be a matter of life and death, so you've got to make sure that the network is working and that connectivity is there. Number of users, tremendous. We just had back to school at Emory, and of the students, well, let's see, we had 15 students that registered 7 wireless devices on the network. Let's see, 7. Let's see, there's a phone, there's a tablet, there's a laptop, maybe an iPod. I don't know what the other ones are. But that's 15, and those were 15 had 7 devices, and then the average, I think, is at least 2.5 devices per student. It's crazy. So it's just growing by leaps and bounds. So as far as deployment goes, the students are driving it, healthcare and their applications are driving it. It's quite a challenge.
Bandwidth demand.
Oh yes, oh yes. We keep adding more and more access points. We're, I think, at 4,200 right now across campus. And we've got 20,000 unique users, simultaneous users at peak. And of course, healthcare peaks during the day, the dorms peak at midnight.
Sort of balance there.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to see those traffic graphs.
All right, thank you. Robert.
So UPS is probably the definition of mobility. I mean, we roll about 100,000 trucks a day, and though they look just like plain brown, ubiquitous package vehicles to you, they really are packed with technology. And everything from our dyad board to the GPS signals and all the data that gets transferred back and forth to servers so that customers can get package tracking information. I mean, that is mobile. But the area that I focus on is our customer-facing technologies. And so that is with our apps, our mobile website, and where we really find out about, or where we determine what our new initiatives are going to be, are a couple of places. One, and probably the most important, is customer feedback. We really value customer feedback. We take every comment seriously, and there are some on there that that has a few expletives that maybe we don't take as seriously, but we definitely are concerned about what our customers think and look to improve the product for our customers. Then we also take a look at, through market trends, what's going on in the market, where our customers are asking for things that may not be coming through a feedback channel. And then we also take a look at what our business objectives are. So Dick was describing the product of rerouting packages. That's UPS My Choice, and that is our premier product that we're working on right now to make the receiving a package experience better for customers. And we're trying to meet all those expectations. So those are the basics of what we're working on now and probably for the next few months.
Keep busy. All right. Jeffrey?
Whereas it sounds like Robert focuses more on the customer-facing or consumer-facing. My focus is internal, so enterprise applications. The way we do it at Chick-fil-A, we actually have 2 different groups that are responsible for mobile. And I would say one, the consumer facing comes out of digital marketing. So it's really how a customer interacts with Chick-fil-A. My focus is internal, but I see a lot of overlap. So as being one of the mobile evangelists at Chick-fil-A, I'm trying to bring those two groups together because there's a lot of learning, and I enjoy learning. I don't want people learning to waste effort, and I see that both groups are kind of learning at the same time, maybe different paces, so I want to be able to learn from the other group. Because even though our consumers of applications are different, the technologies, the partners, some of the techniques, it's all the same. So we're trying to go down this journey together. Some of the internal apps that I'm interested in helping spearhead, if you can imagine, if you could only do email on your computer, you know how much less productive you would be? So I'm really interested in those snacking apps. So email was the killer app 10 or 12 years ago when BlackBerry was in existence, if you will. But as there's been nicely done. I appreciate it. And
bust out the iPhone tattoo right
no,
now.
that's the funny thing. So I'm not an Apple fanboy, so as much Apple products as you'll see around our home office, that's been a learning in and of itself as far as how gracious Apple is on the front end. Behind the curtain, it has been one of the most challenging experiences. I've spent the past 2 years getting very confused, and some people could have done it a lot faster, but I'm a slow learner and we're working on it. But this is the exciting time. I think it takes a certain personality to be in mobile because it changes all the time. And I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit more.
Disruptions, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah, besides just means disrupting you, I apologize for that. Yeah, so if my socks don't give away my personality a little bit here, hey, they're brain-hearted. You're at Crown Plaza. Come on. Isn't that not amazing? If that doesn't give it away, I will do this quick icebreaker for all of you guys. Today's my favorite holiday. Today's my favorite holiday in the world, by the way. Today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, so good old gar to all of you. So that's a nice little icebreaker for all of you guys. So with it is. I literally made my team do it this morning, so you'll see.
What was yesterday?
Oh, I don't know.
Hump day.
Alright, so and you guys thought you were coming to learn anything, and you got a comedy show instead. So welcome to Intercontinental Hotels Group. We welcome you to the Crown Plaza at the Crown at Ravinia. And so what I do every day is I get to be able to somehow or another connect mobile to our hotels and to our guests. It's an amazing challenge, and so it's incredible to see where we've gone with it, right? So at the end of the day, you could probably say is our mission statement at IHG is to book hotels, right? And so that's what we got to do. We got to fill the rooms out here, right? That's what our owners want, is to book it. But it's not really what our guests want, right? So our guests, which matter more, really, in all honesty, no offense to our owners, I love them all, but is that our guests want to be able to connect to the hotel, right? And really enjoy their entire experience for their stay. And so a mobile device is a fantastic way to pull that off, right? And how you connect those two together. And so we are definitely interested on that, and on that front for our guests. When it comes to our actual employees, per se, we also have a major front on that initiative as well, which is that we want to enable our employees to be able to be as efficient as humanly possible. I will tell you right now, guys, I do have a laptop, but I don't know the last time I've actually used it. And I've been able to do pretty much everything all day. In fact, I have some of my team members here today. I do pretty much my entire job every day on my phone. And I think a majority of people kind of fit in that category. And so we're taking advantage of that, right? And taking advantage of being able to really give them the tools that are necessary to be as efficient as humanly possible. So, so the large part for enterprise for mobile as far as IHG is concerned is really twofold. We are focusing tremendously on our guests. That's what I spend 99% of my day working on. And then I focus as well on making sure my employees are being able to have the tools that are necessary to really make sure that they are as efficient as they possibly can be. And of course, sometimes that includes booking the employee rates, because they all love that. But like, and who wouldn't? Now accepting applications at isg.com. But like, no, it's a great experience for us for what mobile brings, and kind of brings the guests and the hotels together all under one
Is
umbrella.
there something specifically you can tell us about how mobility fits within your company's strategy and its organization? So is mobility woven in across the fabric of your strategy? Is it a separate strategy? How are you organized to deliver mobility? Who wants to take that on? Take it.
Sure. So I was explaining that, of course, we're mobile every day, right? But talking about our customer-facing apps and what we do to provide customer information, mobility is a serious part of our IT budget. I mean, it needs to be more. And I think we're always challenged to get more resources and for development and making sure that we're staying on top of everything else. But you know, we tested the waters 3 or 4 years ago, and we said, okay, what's mobile doing? Just like probably everybody else in here. And we started out, and it was like, we'll give you a little bit of seed money to get going. And it has taken a few years for our people to say, you know what? We really need to focus a lot more on mobility and really start dedicating a bigger chunk of our budget to mobile, because that's where our customers are. That's why we do mobile-facing or customer-facing apps at UPS and mobile website, because we want to be where our customers are. We don't do it just for giggle, just for gratuitous acts of mobility. We do it because there's a need or a want of our customers. So that's where our focus is, and it's becoming more and more a significant part of our budget.
Anyone else want to take that?
Yeah, I'll just chime in a little bit. We created, actually my position as a director of mobile delivery last year, and that was a big initiative for us, is to be able to really kind of separate that. Typically, a lot of organizations like to turn around and put mobile underneath their standard web channel, and it doesn't really work. It doesn't match that flavor. Right? It's a totally different experience, a totally different mindset. You need somebody who thinks about things in a very different way. And so we did do that. We did make that change over at IHG. I will say that. I will say it's a little bit struggle for us as well, because as a large organization like we are, mobile and bean counters do not get along, right? So it is a challenge, right? So investing more, like you were talking about, Bob, like investing more into mobile is incredibly challenging every single day, right? So if you look at like what we've done within IHG, in 2009, let's put a little bit of perspective of this. In 2009, all of mobile for IHG was $2.5 million. I did $2.5 million before I started talking tonight. Right? Like that is how crazy it is today. We now do close to $1 billion a year in revenue when it comes to mobile. And so it's hard with an exponential growth curve like that, and bean counters expect you to kind of be more steady to be able to say, well, how do I double down on investing on this? So, we've made additional changes as well. We, from an organizational standpoint, mobile now sits as a big part of even our executive council, and so I get to go hang out with those guys who are way smarter than me, but I get to try to somehow really convince them to invest even more, and so we're kind of doubling down on mobile a little bit more now, right? So because the return on investment is so large, but that's what we're having to do.
I wanted to add before I stand here that IHG, and in particular James and his cohort in crime, Bill Keene, were singled out in the Forrester report about how you set up a model organization around delivering mobility. So hats off to you guys. Thank you, Dave.
I was going to come at it from a little bit different angle. Since we don't really generate revenue with wireless, we support our customers, our students, staff, faculty, doctors with wireless. If you take a look at today, or this year's incoming class, they've grown up with knowing nothing but cellular phones and wireless connections on their on their tablets. Well, actually, they know tablets, they know laptops. They don't know what an Ethernet cord is. So they are truly a mobile generation, and that's what we have to support.
And we'll piggyback on that just a quick second. We actually have a big year next year, just so everybody knows. It's kind of crazy. Facebook will turn 10 years old next year, just so everybody knows. It's kind of crazy to think about that there will actually be a generation that does not know what it's like not to have Facebook, right? So it's not just a mobile place, it is a social play. Like, it is insane to think about. So just, it's a great point.
And yes, I do remember the compact one.
I bet you toted one around.
I did.